I spent over 1 year working on this project. I am glad I finished. When I first watched Songs of War, I was amazed. It was such a good story, even though it is a simple Minecraft animation. When I saw it was canceled, I couldn't stand there and do nothing. I wanted to know what happened next. I didn't have access to the script, but people on YouTube made fan animations or videos on how to find the script. With that information, I created Songs of War Season 2, Episode 1. Viewer, may I present Behind the Scenes? In this scene, I animated the project 3 times. I just kept losing it because I forgot to save the project. But the final animation was much better than the unsuccessful ones. Adding dialogue was difficult because instead of making the audio before the animation, I accidentally made the animation before the dialogue. And I did not want to reanimate it a fourth time. I had to trim and redo the dialogue multiple times in order to use it. I used the stored class sound uh, to make the stored classing sounds. It was kind of trash, but at least I learned how to do it. While making Ardoni rigs, I used Chef Setic's idea. I edited the skin of one Ardoni, but removed its markings. Then I parented the markings as a separate skin on top of it. I then turned the brightness of the markings up. I used a 3D modeling for the weapons. I put a texture as one of the weapons as an item, then edited the texture by erasing the edges and making another item with the edgeless texture on top of the complete texture. I then parented it on the complete texture and increased the Z axis, and then I got a 3D weapon. For enchantments, I used glowing particles. It was the best thing I got, seeing as I only had enchanted weapons for one scene. I didn't improve it. In this scene, I made the audio first, then the animation. This made the dialogue better. I also recorded music from the first scene of Sandaria in season 1 and made the animation around the music as well, because I didn't know how to make soundtrack. I created my own montages. I made them run laps, do push-ups, read, and blacksmith. The rig for the book was simple. I made it only 5 pages, but it did the trick. For the flashback, I had Dahlia stab his sword in the ground and caused a shockwave. I used a shockwave texture, increased the red hue in it, and scaled it up as the time increased in the timeline, making it bigger. Uh, this was before I got the lines from the Songs of War production, so I got a voice actor. One of my friends was playing Merlin. I play she Her name is Juju is Blue Blue. She did a good Merlin voice, and also a fun fact: there is no bridges in my Ataraxia rig. They just magically go around. If I'm doing episode 2, I'm gonna add bridges. In this scene, I made an update for the face rigs. As you see, the eyebrows are better and the mouth is more Minecrafty. For the Luna rig, I made a regular Ender Dragon and just scaled it down with adding custom ears. For the Unyielding Legion people, I used the voice of a friend, Sarky, It was easy to animate the main unyielding Legion guy because his mouth was obstructed by a mask. The fight was hard because I have little experience with fight animations without one guy being like a total unit. But I guess the fight was pretty good. For the music, I used the bats to take up some time, allowing the music to go with the fighting. And I added a bunch of sound effects, even though you can barely hear them. For the boat, I built one in Minecraft and it turned out okay. I had a lot of insides, but you can never see it in the animation, so I just wasted a bunch of time. I also found the real lines in mid-production, and I didn't want to redo the animation, so I just used the lines for the rest of the animation. This scene took the longest of them all. I spent 1 month doing this while I was working on it 2 through 4 hours a day. While working on this, my arm began to hurt, so I took a break. I got Wither Chicken to help me with the Minecraft world. He did a lot of the work. When I got back to the project, it was so laggy. I did all my tricks to reduce lag, and still, it was around 1 through 5 frames per second. I ate 3 things: trash, lag, and allergies. And I had to animate this project while facing lag and allergies. I managed to finish it before summer ended, and I liked the results. For the zombies, I used the zombie skin and put a super flat surface above their eyes and made the surface glow. After I finished the stupid project, I took a nap. I also took a break from animating because I was getting what I call the animation block. Basically, when I have it, I am less motivated to animate or I get tired. The cure for me is to do something else I like other than animating, like play Minecraft, hang out with a friend, and write. For this scene, I decided to add some water mechanics. I added Merlin, and for his rig, I used a light blue parrot because I did not want to reconstruct the bird completely. I just did some tweaking on the beak and added a mouth for when it talks, and I did my first try of a wave animation when Abigail falls, realizing Merlin can talk. The wave animation was pretty bad, but I did my best. And I did not want to spend too much time on that wave animation. For this scene, I had to make a song rig. I made an animation for the Protesium song. I made little balls inside, and I made one of them scale up, then disappear, and then another one spawns and does the exact same thing over and over and over again. For the Saporium song, I spawned a bunch of spheres and moved them around over and over and over again. I then made an Ardoni shrine, which I made myself. I think it turned out pretty good. I had Wither Chicken animate some of the scene, but I did most of the work. For this scene, I had to do a lot of customization. I had to make the Necrolord staff in Model Bench. I used the texture of a wither, scaled it down, subtracted a lot of stuff, added a bunch of stuff. And when I imported in Minotaur, the difficult part was finding out where the Necrolord should hold it. I spent 20 minutes finding a place, and I got a good one. Making it not too high or not too low, while making sure there's enough room for it, while it doesn't cling on walls or the Necrolord's body. When Nika was being taken over by the Necrolord, I needed to make it's dramatic. I first made it so the Necrolord took over Nika's body, then her mind. I added some bone cracking sounds to give it that extra layer. In video editing, I manipulated the music so it plays the same music notes multiple times. For the Necrolord's voice, I put some water in my mouth and added a mask that I wore for Halloween, and I gave a zombie-like tone while speaking my lines. I think the Necrolord voice turned out pretty good. And there you go. Behind the scenes of Songs of War Season 2, Episode 1. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe, leave a like, and check out the original animation. And if you're in for a laugh, check out the bloopers that are probably not out yet, but soon will be.